Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am Saidem Abdullah. I have finished my PhD in Sustainable Development and Climate Change, and my PhD topic was environmental reporting from EU's Pavia and University of Trieste. It was a national PhD program in Italy. So I defended my PhD on 26 March 2025. My supervisor is Professor Paolo Rossi, who is associate professor from University of Trieste. I was 6 months in a period abroad program, part of my PhD in Adamson Business School, University of Glasgow. I worked as teaching assistant in financial and managerial accounting course in University of Trieste. I have 3 years of working experience as an auditor, where I audited and also prepared financial statements. Okay, so this I am following the same slide that I presented during my defense. This was my cover page, my first page. So in the thesis, my thesis topic was environmental reporting from institutional, financial, and political aspect. And if you see my whole PhD work, it's like it has three paper: the moderating effects of institutional characteristics on the association between environmental disclosure and environmental performance, and meta regression, which is a literature review, quantitative literature review. The second one is the value relevance of climate change disclosure, evidence from EuroStoxx 600 companies. This will be my job market paper, which I will present. And my third paper was lobbying on climate change disclosure, evidence from IFRS S2. So each of these paper I have presented in conferences. The first two paper I have presented in UFIN conference. The third paper I have presented in EAA workshop in Rome, and also I have presented these works in other Italian workshops like Sidrea. And this was my whole PhD structure. So I'm going to skip to the second paper, which will be my job market paper. Okay. So this is the paper title of the paper: Value Relevance of Climate Change Disclosure, Evidence from EuroStoxx 600 Companies. So the paper in nutshell, the purpose of the paper is to examine the effects of quality and quantity of climate change disclosure on share price. And the sample as a sample, we have considered the sustainability reports of EuroStoxx 600 companies from the year 2014 to 2021. And we have also collected the correspondence data such as share price, EPS, and BVS. And we conducted for the methodology, we have conducted content analysis to find the qualitative and quantitative characteristics of the climate change disclosure. We have also used regression analysis to find the impact of qualitative and quantitative characteristics of climate disclosure on share price. Now, regarding findings, we have found that the uh, readability has significant effect on share price. So standard setters should address the ease of readability in the ESRS standards. And if you talk about originality, this is one of the first studies to observe the effect of quantitative and qualitative characteristics of climate disclosure of European companies or share price on share price. Now, let's go through the motivation of studies. We know that scientists and international bodies like such as United Nations call for climate as a very important issue. So it has become a very prominent issue nowadays. And also, according to signaling theories and efficient market hypotheses, uh, when companies provide good information, important information, and investors react to those informations. And also capital should flow to companies that are effectively taking care the climate issues. And so climate information is a way to understand how companies are effectively tackling the climate issue. And several standard setters such as IFRS, SEC, EFRAG have established different climate change reporting standards. Previous studies have examined the value or relevance of CSR disclosure. Some studies have investigated the value relevance of climate change disclosure, particularly in specific countries or group of countries or a group of countries. But this study will be the first one that will identify the value relevance of climate change disclosure, particularly in terms of European context. So, literature review and hypothesis development. So, if we see the previous literature, we can see that there were some positive relation. Okay, this slide we talk about the quantitative characteristics of climate change disclosure. We have found several literature. Some important literature I want to mention. Like there were some studies conducted uh, in country wise to find the relationship between quantitative characteristics of climate change disclosure and share price. And some studies found positive relation. We have divided those literature in the upper part, and there is also literature that found the negative relation between the quantitative characteristics of climate change disclosure and share price. So based on those literature, there is a lack of study that find the relationship between quantitative characteristics of climate change disclosure and share price from European perspective. So we are going to uh, uh, fill up that gap by this research. So our hypothesis is there is a relationship between quantitative characteristics of climate change disclosure and market price of shares in terms of European perspective. And for the quality of climate change disclosure, we first talk about the causing similarities. Um, so there are several papers that found the association between the causing similarity of climate change disclosure and share price, uh, causing similarities. So there was no such study that conducted the relationship between causing similarity and share price. So, but it seems like it is quite crucial quality of climate change disclosure. So it is important to understand this relationship between causing similarity of climate change disclosure and share price. So our hypothesis is there is a relationship between causing similarity or consistency of similarities in climate change disclosure and a market price of shares. And the next hypothesis is about the tone of climate change disclosure. We found several literature. Uh, we identified several literature which was conducted to understand the tone of climate change disclosure. So there was several study found the existence of tone in climate change in several disclosures, and also they found those tones have uh, a positive effect on share price. So we want to find also how climate change disclosures tone affect the share price from European perspective. Now the next hypothesis is readability and climate change disclosure. So, in terms of these qualitative characteristics of climate change disclosure, we also found some literature, and here we found that readability impacts the share prices, and also sustainability reports need better readability, according to some previous literature. So, we developed this hypothesis like there is a relationship between readability and climate change disclosure and share price. And so this is the sample in our research paper. So the population is European companies, sample population is European companies, sample are Eurostock 600 companies, year of analysis is 2014 to 2021, sample data for quality and quantity of climate change disclosure is climate change reports or environmental reports or CSR reports or ESG reports by Eurostock 600 companies from 2014 to 2021 from websites. We included any of this paper as our source of data to identify the qualitative characteristics and quantitative characteristics of climate change disclosure, whichever was available. So the number of total reports were collected 2,674. We excluded some reports that were not in English, and also some reports we excluded that had some error in the PDF files which we downloaded or unavailable in the database, and we also removed outliers from our database. So our final sample was 1,765 uh, reports. So sample data for sample data for share price and other financial data we downloaded from Refinitiv Econ. And in terms of methodology, the disclosure of characteristics was measured through Python. So the first we talk about the quantity of climate change disclosure. In terms of quantity, there were four variables. The first variable is the total relevant sentences. The sentences based on the keywords referred from previous literature. The single word score, which is the keyword, some important keywords from ESRS E1 standard. Combo word score, like multiple keywords from ESRS E1 standard. Multiple means like where there are keywords which are double keywords, as for example, GHG emission together. So this kind of keywords were added as a combo word score. So we also look for this combination of words as to find the combo word score. Total forward-looking words, forward-looking keywords we find from the previous literature. And then we also identified or measured the quality of climate change disclosure. So we identified or measured six qualitative characteristics of climate change disclosure. One is causing similarity. It is the similarities of climate relevant sentences with one file or one report with another. Then average sentiment score, which is the tone of each sentences, and then tone of each file from each file. Yeah. Then next four are the readability scores. We have measured all these four because we found in several papers where they applied several readability scores at the same times. So we also applied these four readability scores at the same time. So this is our regression model following the value relevance model. So our dependent variable is the share price, and our independent variables are earning per share, book value per share, and then quantity of climate change disclosure and quality of climate change disclosure. So this is the finding of our descriptive statistics. We can see like there are various values, and we found like many high standard deviation, sometimes low standard deviation. So which gives us a bit hint that the requirement of climate change disclosure reporting standard, as there is a high amount of climate change disclosure in various variables. Okay. Now there's the result of the regression analysis model one. Okay, we have divided the model into three model because there was multicollinearity problem. So we had to divide in three models. and we are going to explain all the three models here. So we can see that the readability are significantly and negatively related to share price. Kuhlman-Liao index and automated readability index. Okay, Kuhlman-Liao index and automated readability index is something. If it increase, the difficulty is more. If it decreases, if the score of these two variable decreases, the readability is more easy, like it is more easy to read. So the negative relation of these two variables suggests that due to increase of the reading difficulty, the share price is negatively related with these two variable. And we can also see that single word score and combo word score and the total forward looking words are also negatively related to share price. And it also gives us a hint that too much information can provide a negative reaction, but still there are some we are not still clear that those keywords, combo word score and total forward looking words, those words are providing positive information or negative information, we still don't know. So if it provides positive information, it means in that case the investors are taking it as a manipulation. And if those keywords carries negative information, then it is very rational and usual to have this negative reaction. So the we can see that the in the other model, flash reading is the other readability variable is positively and significantly related to share price, but it is flash reading is a kind of measurement. If the score of these variable increase, it means uh, the text is easy to read. So it means when as the texts are easy to read, the investors are positively reacting to it. Now, in the Model 3, fresh Kincaid grade is also negatively related to share price and significantly related to share price. So, fresh Kincaid grade is also a measurement. If it increase, it means it is difficult to read. So, negatively reacted to share price means uh, the investors are negatively reacting to share price because the reports were difficult to read. So the implication of these papers are corporations must engage stakeholders, communicate genuine climate messages and accurate information in reports, and ensure readability to avoid investor backlash, so that they don't provide any text which are difficult to read. And standard setters should prioritize readability with dedicated clause. Like in ESRS standards, there should be a subsection in the related articles or the sections where there is some suggestion about readability in the reports. And setters should also provide clearer and more structured rules for disclosing qualitative information, especially where extensive descriptive language is used. Because otherwise, if there is no clear structure or guideline, there can be huge number of words and which can be manipulative to investors, and investors can put negative backlash toward the share price. And companies must prioritize climate issues as investors respond seriously to such matters and may react unfavorably to inadequate action toward climate. Thank you for your attention.